What's up, guys? Welcome to Boxside Chats. I'm your host, Nick, and it is a privilege to introduce the one and only Napua as the guest host. Starting something new, we're going to have a lot of guest hosts on the show to learn more about some of the members, some of the coaches, and then just talk about whatever it is you guys want to talk about. So, Napua, welcome to the show.
Thank you. What's up, everyone?
So if you check it out, she got the right on the board. Follow her on Instagram. This is not how they spell it at Starbucks, I'm told.
No, not at all.
All right. And then obviously we all know she's a big Steelers fan. Follow her on Facebook for those updates this time around next year. Hopefully they make it a little farther this year, right?
At your own risk.
Yeah. PG 18 out of minimum.
Barely.
All right, so today we're going to get to know Napua a little bit, and then we're going to dive into what is the conjugate method. We have a lot of talk around the gym. We use the conjugate method of powerlifting, kind of the West Side barbell method, along with our CrossFit programming. So we're going to dive into what that is, what it entails, and lucky for us, Pua has also been through the CrossFit Powerlifting seminar. So we're going to talk about that, and hopefully everyone will take away some key points in there and kind of understand the programming better and why we choose to do that in a CrossFit gym. But before we get into that, Napua, tell us a little bit about yourself. Obviously, you got a lot of culture and history with you.
Of course.
So share some of that with the people.
So I was born and raised in Hawaii on the island of Oahu, as most people know. I mean, it's hard not to know that with me, with my name, because most people, that's how a conversation starts about where I'm from. I have 3 kids. My oldest daughter is about to graduate from high school. Hard to believe, I know.
Going to college?
Yes, she's going to start in Nova and then go on to, she's decided between a couple of other schools.
Yeah.
So my life revolves literally around my kids, work, CrossFit, and hula. I dance hula as well.
And you're headed to a new hula?
Possibly.
Possibly a new hula.
By the way, great aerobic exercise. Great aerobic activity, hula. Not easy.
Yeah.
CrossFit has actually helped my hula. The more strenuous hula, the old style, Kahiko style, has really helped my, the conditioning has really helped me be able to perform better in some of those hulas that are left for the younger generation. So, yeah, it's been good.
Good. Well, I'm glad our functional fitness has helped in hula as well. So cool. So we'll probably learn some more about you as we go throughout the show. Getting into the topic, what is conjugate? How would you describe conjugate or powerlifting as we do it here at OVP? Some key words you would use.
Varied. Max effort days versus dynamic effort days. A lot of accessory work, which is really where you build your muscle and get stronger.
Okay. Yeah, so a lot of key points there. Just on the definition, the varied I think is key. The varied method is kind of what I would use if we weren't using the word conjugate. You know, CrossFit constantly varied as defined. The same thing with the conjugate method as a varied method. It's not your typical linear progression that a lot of strength and conditioning goes through. You know, you're working through phases of building muscle, adding strength to all that meat, and then going into your explosive phase, and then peaking for some sort of competition. You know, it really doesn't help us because we're really not. The majority of us aren't training for a competition.
Right.
We want to be fit for life, right? So I think that's one of the key takeaways. The benefits of conjugate, and we can do all those things at once. So run through me, or run over the methods you kind of just brought up. So talk to me about max effort. Tell me about that day for us.
So on a max effort day, we're usually doing a max effort lift, whether it's lower body or upper body, where we're hoping to possibly PR. And then from there, we'll do accessories and move on throughout the workout. But that max effort lift, whatever that gain is going to help you progress when we move on to dynamic effort days.
Yeah, absolutely. So the maximum effort, we're usually going between 1 and 5 reps. You know, we've started doing some 3s here lately. And then we're looking to just go under that max load to lift 1 second. Hey, weirdo. And we're back. Back on the recording here. So, looking for 1 to 5 reps, maximal load, and the great thing about that with our program is that you can continue to see progress. So we're always measuring results. You know, we're not like, oh, I wonder if I've gotten better. You know, I'm assuming these percentages,
Right.
but I really don't know. But every probably 8 to 12 weeks, we'll come back and retest, whether it's a back squat, front squat, 1 rep max, deadlifts, different variations, and you can legit see progress continuously in the program, so that's good.
But one thing that's exciting for me that I like to see in the gym, and I know it was exciting for me when I started on the conjugate method, was the big gains that you see right away in the first several weeks. So whenever we get new people into the box, you start to see their numbers just grow. It's
Yep.
awesome. It's amazing.
Yeah, that's one of the great things about being a coach inside of the style program as well, is that, for instance, an older woman that comes in who has never lifted a barbell and she does a 100-pound deadlift on week 1 or whenever she tests first, a few weeks later she's 150 pounds,
Right.
200 pounds, and just the eyes light up. And it's like, yeah, we're making progress there, and that's
Yep.
awesome. So we've got the max effort. Moving on, dynamic effort. So dynamic effort is going to be our sub-maximal load performed at speed or as quick as possible. So we do those, usually a lower body, we do 12 sets of 2 and then 10 sets of 2 on that last week of the 3-week wave, and then upper body, 9 sets of 3, 15 sets of 3, something of that sort. The goal there being to add speed to our muscle. The faster you're moving, the stronger you are. So we go back to that max effort. If we're slow out of the bottom, we're obviously not going to be able to lift as much weight.
Right.
So we're training for speed. And those days are good because we can, perfect technique. We're under a sub-max load, so it's not as dangerous. We can focus on getting that good depth and cleaning up technique.
And we can vary the way we do the workouts, whether it's chain, bands. Sometimes we'll do the kettlebells on top of bands, on top of the bar, which really helps you control how you get that up there, and you're using different muscles in your arms and your chest. So that's something that I like.
Yeah, this Friday we've got a wide grip bench press, 3 sets of 20 hanging kettlebells. So that's always a fun one. So yeah, tons of different ways we can change that up, bands, chains, etc. And then last but not least, we talked about building the muscle mass. The last piece of the method for us is that repetition method, which we do with accessory work.
Yeah.
So really, if you think the simplest terms, like a bodybuilder would go in and just try to add meat, add muscle mass to their body, that's what we're doing with the accessories. So the key there for us is adding that muscle so we can build the strength with the other 2 methods. And then also it does a lot for preventing injury. So most of it's strict movement under controlled settings. So we're building muscle, perfecting technique, as opposed to just throwing us in to a high intensity CrossFit workout where form goes, we may hurt ourselves, and we're not adding as much muscle.
Right.
So, but if you're into bodybuilding, we're the CrossFit gym for you, because we actually do some of that. Right?
Well, not too much of this though.
Nah, we don't usually do
Which
curls.
I'm actually glad about that, because the noises that come along with that, not so great.
Because your noises are not so great.
And my noises are awesome,
Would you do a
right?
back squat? Anyways, pot calling the kettle black over here. But the
I've been chucking it up.
the funny thing about that, we may not do curls, but today we're doing strict chin-ups, building the same muscle group, biceps, a little bit of lat. So I get away with that and some bicep work in there. So we've talked about what it is, how we do it, max effort, dynamic effort, repetition method. Talk to me why you think it's a good mix inside of a CrossFit gym. Most CrossFit gyms don't do this much strength work, this style of program. They're just kind of the 5 3s and 1s sporadically thrown in. Maybe not even that. May just be a lot of high intensity metcons. So why do you think this method works well for us?
Well, for me, I like that I can, like we talked about earlier, you can actually see your gains and you know in what direction you're going. But I've also found that the conjugate method has helped me in metcons as well with my conditioning. when we work on explosiveness, especially on lower body, when you're working with, deadlifts and you're getting explosive in the hips and stuff, or box jumps that we do, which is not a strength of mine, I found that it's definitely helped me a lot on the conditioning side as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a great mix. Like you said, the strength work definitely, the stronger you are, the easier a 65-pound thruster 21 times is going to be, right? So it's very important that we continue to build strength. But also, if you look at the definition of CrossFit, constantly varied functional movement performed at high intensity. And then we talk about conjugate, constantly varied. We're using different methods, we're doing different lifts. Functional, some of the accessory work can be argued not as functional as others. But other than that, the same exact movements we would be doing in CrossFit. And then high intensity, obviously max lifts are very high intensity. The dynamic effort for speed, definitely high intense. And we can control the rest in that, making it even more intense or less intense. And then if you're doing the accessory work well, like I always tell everyone, hey, I want you to go as heavy as possible, as strict as possible. That is definitely high intense.
Yeah.
And we do the days that are just accessory work, no conditioning, and a lot of times I'll leave more beat and more exhausted from those days.
Yeah. I feel like if you cut corners on the accessory work, you're doing yourself a real disservice.
Oh yeah.
There, you definitely shouldn't cut corners with the accessory work.
Yeah, the accessory work is key. That's where we really add that muscle. And if you don't have the muscle added to your body, it's going to be hard to build strength.
Yeah.
So if we're just focused on the conditioning and burning, and you're not eating right, adding the muscle in the correct, with the correct amount of effort in the accessory work, you're going to struggle.
One other benefit for me with Conjugate has been, when I started CrossFit in August of 2013, I hated the Olympic movements. Mostly because my technique sucked. But I found that with Conjugate, as I've gotten stronger through Conjugate, it's helped my strength with the Olympic lifting. And obviously my technique has gotten better over the years, somewhat. But seeing my gains in that because of the Conjugate program has been great as well.
Yeah, when I first started the Conjugate method, I didn't do any Olympic lifting for a few months. Came back, did some Olympic lifting technique, obviously questionable then, questionable now, but all my Olympic numbers went up.
Yeah.
Just because I was stronger. My triceps were stronger, my shoulders were stronger, my legs were stronger.
Exactly.
And the stronger you are, the easier everything's going to be. And I've seen that benefit. And I think actually I saw that Louis Simmons is coming out with a book on Olympic weightlifting and how the methods can intertwine. So I'm interested to see that.
That's interesting, yeah.
So wrapping things up, the Conjugate method, that's how we use it. Please ask questions. We've got some duty experts in the membership as well as on the coaching staff. It's functional, it's continually testable, which is great for us. We continue to see progress, and it's a lot of fun when compared to a boring all-strength program that you never get to retest and you don't see that progress. You're not doing the speed stuff. Pua, give us some closing comments, tips, advice for the people.
Well, I think you just need to stay focused and don't get discouraged. We all have our bad days, myself included. There's days where I want to come in here, I see on Modify, it's a 1 rep max for a deadlift. I want to PR, I don't PR for whatever reason. And you just got to keep grinding. Keep going forward, don't let it get you down. Just keep grinding and get stronger.
Love it. Last question. Will we see you in the OBP Powerlifting Rookie Classic?
I'm supposed to make that announcement here?
Yeah.
Well, I will be bringing my talents to the classic.
She's gonna do it. I like it. I hope to see a lot more of you guys doing it.
Come on, that's gonna be fun. Y'all should sign up.
And it'll be a good time. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed the episode, and we'll see you next time.
Bye,
Thanks for
guys.
being here. Check her out on Instagram.
Insta follow me.
Spell it right.